Hi, Susie. I don't know if I can see everyone, but I can see those names at least. So, and Pamela, I see you too. Don't know, I can't see everyone. That's all I can see. So, anyway, this is the Green Terra discussion and sharing group. And we are part of Soul Manifesto, which I'm the founder of the Soul Manifesto too. And I love the Green Terra discussion and sharing group because the Green Terra is actually a Buddhist goddess. And she is all about that being guided by the soul and living from the heart too. So that's so appropriate for here because the concepts we talk about should help you to start living by your soul, by the guidance of your soul and your heart's desire. Now, first of all, a little bit is for those of you who don't know, because I see some new names here. I want to make sure that I'm Elena Chapman. I'm a spiritual thought leader. I also am kind of coined a soul nurturer, and that's because of the love and the wisdom I bring to people. And with that, we talk a lot about how to get yourself connected to living with your soul. What's the difference of living with your soul than living from the critical mind or the ego? There's a big difference. Oh my gosh, there's a world of difference. But then I help you also connect to something even higher. And that is a very cool feeling. You never ever feel like you're not supported. You never ever feel like you're left alone against all odds. That doesn't really happen. So it's just getting you in touch with yourself. But for tonight, we're talking concepts. Now, here we go. I love this. Oh, I almost forgot. I have to do some of the rules. And they're not rules, they're more for me than you. The first one is the 3-second rule, which is for me. When someone talks, we give them a little bit, 3 seconds after they talk, because we all talk on this, guys. So give them 3 seconds before you jump in and let them finish. I'm the biggest culprit, so that rules for me too. And then also, I'm going to look at my, oh yeah, always. Somebody may disagree with you. Surprise, surprise. And if that's the case, that's okay. Have respect, have kindness. We're not all going to agree. We're all different kinds of people with all different kinds of lives, with all different kinds of beliefs. We're all going to come from all different angles. But if we all listen and have respect for each other, oh my gosh, we're going to learn different things, and some things may be good and some things might not work, but it doesn't matter. It's all that key to awareness that gets you thinking. My biggest goal for this tonight and any night, any Thursday night at 7, that's when this is on, is that you get something to really think, that gets your mind just percolating. And before you know it, you start, okay, I like that. I'm going to try that in my life. Or that's just doesn't even hold hot water. I'm not even going to try it at all. It's up to you. Okay? All right. So let's get started. Illusions. Illusions. What are they? Illusions. Now, when we think of illusions, I don't know about you, but I think of the magician. And in fact, I was trying so hard to come up with a magic trick for you, but I'm obviously not a magician because I couldn't do it. But I had so many ideas. I was going to do the sleight of hand, which is a magician. We pay good money to go see these magicians and these mystical things that just kind of and ooh. That's what we think of when we think of illusions, because they're creating something that is maybe true, maybe not true. They have little tricks that they do too, but it creates this picture. So that's what we think. But in some beliefs, illusion is also something that they think of as the magician, meaning as a magician, as somebody who meaning you come in and can create that illusion. Create that, you have all the tools within you to create whatever you want to create. Okay? Now, illusions can be fun. Illusions are true, that people create them. We know that because of the magician. They can be fun, they can be fascinating, they can be superstitious. But do we realize that every day we are either presented with illusions or we are creating illusions? Now, that's what I want to talk about today. I mean, right now, when we were thrown into this coronavirus, you can see my big dog over there, that's Ralphie. Thrown into this big quarantine and everything that we're going through, people who had the illusion of a steady job don't have that steady job. People who had the illusion that they were going to be well taken care of are finding that that illusion is not real.
I'm on a conference call. What's up?
All right. So when we have these different illusions, we have illusions thrown at us all the time. And I even want to bring up that some of these illusions, what's normal? We've been given the illusion of normal. Can anyone really tell me what is normal? When I was growing up, not to age myself, thank you very much, but we had the illusion of getting married. Well, kind of. I was kind of on the borderline of the flower child and the hippie generation. I was born then. I was a 70s child. But I have to say that I always saw, you know, there was a big thing going on then. Lots of divorces. Women were saying, no, we're not going to do this. But right before that, my mom was very happy to be a housewife, and she was happy in that role. And she was living what she called normal. And that was what society had told her was normal. The house, the dog, the child, the picket fence, the flowers, heterosexual. This was the norm. This was the only norm. But isn't that an illusion? Can anybody really define norm? And I would love to hear your opinion on illusion this far, because this is kind of going to be an A and a B sector. We're going to talk about the illusions that we find, or we're going to start exploring some illusions in our own minds. I want to hear from you how illusion has affected you. And then we're going to talk about how to use illusions for us instead of against us. Does anybody want to chime in? Oh, and first of all, when you chime in, could you say your name and your favorite color? Let's do that.
Hi, my name's Erin, and it's blue or this green. So hi, everyone.
Hi, Erin.
I'm in a relationship now, but you know what's so funny? What haunts me is, I like this topic because what haunts me is, and I have a lot of time on my hands these days, as we all do. Yeah. And I find myself like going through in this loop of like past relationships, and this one where I was just, I guess we'll call it an illusion. Like I thought it was one relationship, and now like Monday morning quarterback, I realized like I was hallucinating. It was like, that was not, it was more than a bad illusion. And so I just feel like, I wonder how to tell if you're in an illusion or if it's a positive illusion or something, you know, like how can you tell if you're in an illusion? Because everything is perception, right? None of us share the same reality, even though we're all in the same moment right now. It's our perception, right? And so, you know, when you're having that perception, I wonder how illusion plays into it.
Ah, that's a good question. All right, I'm going to see, does anybody else want to answer? This is a discussion group, guys.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
You have to unmute yourself if you want to.
Oh, you do
I'm
have
the only one with bad relationship illusions. Really?
I don't think so. I do not think so. Okay. All right. Yeah. Anybody who wants to chime in, I would love to hear.
Can you guys hear me? It's Robin.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Okay. I'm just getting on, so I wanted to make sure you could hear me. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you. Rosemary, you're kind of coming on and off. Do you want to say something, hon? No? Okay. This is a very open group. Carrie, what do you think?
I had to go and get some water, so I missed the very beginning. So I'm kind of,
Okay.
I don't
All
want to
right.
make you.
Well, pose your question again, Erin.
So Elena was talking, for everybody who's just joining, she talked about illusion and how, you know, growing up, maybe we should just start talking about the illusion of the fairy tales. I won't say Disney, but you know, when you're Elena was talking about kind of like what her mom expected the norm to be of Elena's life, and that was the illusion of, you know, woman marries man, has babies, has a white picket fence, like very
You got the right picket fence.
old school, like very old school thoughts of that.
Yeah.
And anybody who knows Elena knows that that's not, yes, she actually did marry and have babies and married a man, but that's not really because her mom said so. She just found that that's the way she needed to go for her, right?
Right.
But so maybe the growing up thinking there is that the illusion of
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a certain way, I think is what we're talking about. I commented on illusions affect me sometimes because I think before I met my boyfriend Rudy, I was in this really awful relationship, but I was under the illusion it was really great. But I was shocked to find he cheated on me. I was shocked, like, and I don't like being caught off guard like that. So I try not to daydream in illusions too much because I don't like that feeling, that gut punch. I'll never forget that yucky feeling.
Do you realize that that illusions are thrown on us all the time? I mean, really, what about the illusion of safety? What about when we were growing up? And I drove my mom crazy because I love Disney. You know, Cinderella, who was Snow White because she was the only brunette. Everybody else was a blonde. So I love Snow White. All this, you know, but the prince kisses them. They ride on a horse, and supposedly life is just this wonderful miracle thing forever and ever. But we never saw it. I always said, what happens when they ride on the horse? Oh, they live happily ever after. I thought you got married. You went to live in this beautiful place automatically because you married, and everything magical would happen there, and you were just the perfect fit. This man could read your mind backwards and forwards, knew your every wish. This is what to me would be the perfect ending, right? See, we were not told, but yet that's what we expected. I know my friends were actually looking for the white knight on the horse, you know, coming in to rescue them. Like he's not this other human being. He's like superhuman coming in to take you out of everything. But this was something we were sold as an illusion through the Disney, through the fairy tales, through some of the teachers that talked, just the what was on TV. We sold an illusion.
I think that the only illusion is time and maybe space. I think everything else is real. So if we've got an illusion that we call it an illusion, it doesn't go with what's actually happening in the whole reality. It's because of we had the wrong true fact in the wrong place, or you know what I mean. So I think everything is real. It's just the time of where it was put, time and place, or maybe you can correct me for something like that.
I like this. I understand what you're saying, Carrie. You know, there is a realness. Realness is the universe. The realness is our feelings when we go out into the woods and feel, or when we go, when we're home and we're thinking, we go inside ourselves. There's a spaceness of time that is all everything and nothing, and that is real, believe it or not. But yes, everything else, it does play into our perception. But when we are thrown illusions, it changes and forms our perception. Now, that is something to smoke your pipe. because, because it is when we are fed illusions. Okay, I'll give you a quick. I learned about illusions because when during when my family was getting into like it was a divorce, but I can't say it was because of the divorce, but we were attacked for a long time. Now, but it wasn't attack like, oh, you're going to die attack. It was to throw my sense of the whole of myself and the world into another illusion. An illusion of you can't trust anyone. An illusion that you have to doubt yourself because you say something's going to happen and when people show up, nothing happens. That's kind of weird. Or the evidence that was there wasn't there. So all of a sudden you start doubting yourself. You were thrown into this world of weirdness, just a weary, gooey. I always thought of it as weary, gooey. And that was the illusion that many women who went through what I did actually fell into. They believed hook, line, and sinker this illusion, and they got into fear. And actually, one woman even committed herself. She had a nervous breakdown. So I had 3 kids. I couldn't afford to go down into that illusion. I couldn't let that illusion become my perception of life. I couldn't start doubting myself. I couldn't start thinking that everybody was really weird, that I couldn't trust anyone. Do you see? I had to stand out and say, wait a minute, this is an illusion. This is something someone wants me to believe. Do you see? I've got to find out what I want. That's when I made a list. I made a list on my kids. I said, okay, let's just focus forward. What do I want my kids to think of when they think of family? And I wrote down 4 or 5 things, and I kept it at my nightstand. And every time I made a decision, I looked at that list. Am I protecting them? Do they feel safe? Do they feel strong in the family that we're going to make it on our own? Are they bonding well? Are we deciding things like a family? And that's what I focused my whole existence on until I could get my footing and form my own illusion, which we're going to talk about. But on a lesser extent, maybe not on a lesser extent, are we being fed illusions now? Does anybody out there feel like it?
Would you consider this to be the same as like the stories that we tell ourselves?
The stories we tell ourselves usually are born out of an illusion that was fed to us. So it depends. Yes. Because what happens is we're fed the stories in some way. We gain them in some way. And then it changes our perception as we grow up. And then what we do is then we want to apply that perception to our future life. Yeah. It's a hard concept to understand, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, like even for me, you know, the whole white picket fence, I always saw myself with children. I just never saw a partner there. So it makes no,
you run away on the horse.
Yeah, like I don't even know how he came. I don't even know how the stalk really dropped my kids off. So it's no shock to me that I have no partner at the present time because he was never part of the story.
Oh, I love this. See, but and here you are with kids and no husband.
Exactly.
Interesting, isn't it?
But when I dissect it, it comes from how I was brought up. It comes from what I was, exposed to and the adults that were in my life.
So we create, yes, yeah, and the illusion, yeah, and it is an illusion. I know a lot of people who thought that I always heard that I got to stay in this industry forever because I said, well, my brother's one, he's a cop. I got to stay in this for my pension. The pension is like this small. I got to stay in this. I got to stay in this. I hate it, but I'm going to stay in it because I got to pay. It's going to take care of me.
Right.
And lo and behold, right now he's home because he's got an immune system that's compromised, and they're not taking care of him. Another
Well, yeah, I
illusion.
mean, this virus has really, I have been saying since this whole thing has started, what it's really done is it's really magnified the issues that we've had in our own personal lives or even within this country.
Ah.
Now I'm not going to go political on anybody right now, but things that, like, for instance, when this virus first hit, it was the elderly. Nobody was concerned. It was all about the elderly and compromised immune system. Nobody really cared until it started hitting people that weren't those in that category.
We've seen a lot of systems go faulty in this.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest times in this part is to start seeing what was an illusion, what wasn't.
Yes.
Now let's talk about this. If we're thrown illusions and we believe those illusions and we start forming our life around it, like Aaron with believing that guy, I still think it's just wanting that perfect relationship that we're told we're supposed to get. And so we take every flaw of the person we're with. We don't even see the person we're with because we see the horse and the beautiful man who's coming to rescue us from what I don't know, but they're coming. And I don't know, I thought Snow White was pretty happy, except for the stupid witch with the apple. She was pretty happy in those woods. She had birds singing and everything. So,
No,
but
she had a whole option full of little men. That's why.
and she had men helping her with the house.
Didn't have the
Oh my
dwarf. Never underestimate those dwarfs. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
But what I'm saying is, how funny, with these, we let it alter our life. And right now is a time when we can look at, okay, well, this didn't happen the way I thought it would happen. This didn't pan out the way I thought it would happen. It's time for us to kind of look at what were the illusions, not to bring you down, not so that you think like, my God, my whole life has been a giant illusion. Well, everyone's life is an illusion.
Well, I think it's too, you hide behind it. I think too, you hide behind that story. For instance,
You do.
I had a situation where an illusion, the story I told myself, was completely like bursted out into like pieces one night. So I had struggled with my weight all my life, and I just put everything on my weight. I wasn't successful because of my weight. I didn't have a boyfriend because of my weight. I put all these things on my weight. It was my weight. It was my weight. It was my weight. I didn't have confidence because of my weight. So I went out one night, and another woman who was overweight as well, I just assumed, because of the story I was telling myself, that she had the same issues that I had, with weight and confidence.
Yeah.
Well, she completely shut that whole thing down, because when we walked into this club, she shut the whole thing down. Men were falling at her feet.
Yeah.
And now I'm stuck there. I'm stuck on stupid, like, okay, Fern, well, there goes your story. Your story is completely exposed.
Yeah.
And now what?
See?
Now what? So
Now-
that story that you told yourself that you couldn't have anything because it was your weight, no, it's not your weight. It's you, boo-boo. It's you.
It's you, boo-boo.
So like
that's
that scenario, that situation just completely combusted that whole story that I had told myself. So now I had to go back to the drawing
Women
board.
were not thin. What was it? Gosh, Greek society, they didn't want them thin. Really, they didn't want them thin in Roman. It was a sign of wealth all the way through the feudal society and up to Napoleon, actually. Women, when you were in a good, it means that you had a wealth and you were not supposed to be thin, believe it or not. Isn't that
Also good for, they also looked at it good for bearing children.
That's right, and they were good for bearing children.
Yeah,
there you go. Good stock. But anyway,
you can have it.
yeah, but this is the thing. Right now, okay, so if we can, if we can be fed illusions, adapt them as our beliefs, and then live them. But isn't it true that we instead could create the illusions? Now,
Yes,
what does
that's
that
what I'm
mean?
thinking.
Who's thinking that? Who said that?
I am Robin. It's Robin. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm thinking the whole time you guys are talking, like, okay, then why can't we create like this really awesome illusion and live it?
Yes.
Yes. Come on.
That's where we're going with it. And I love to think of it as an illusion. You know, everyone says, what do you want? Create it. And it sounds hard. Doesn't it? Create it. Well, yeah. Well, okay. And you start thinking heavy. Okay, but I need this. I need this. And oh, that sounds so big. And that sounds, well, what if you just were creating the illusion? Because nothing is really real, guys. I hate to tell you. The rules of society, everything has been created. It's an illusion. And you can see how those illusions are falling apart. One day the stock market's great, the next minute it's gone. Just like that, an illusion. Gone, goodbye. Okay, well, there we go with that. So see, it's an illusion. So if that can be an illusion, why can't I make an illusion? And if I want, okay, someone's got a TV. Can you either lower the TV or mute? But if you want to talk, then unmute yourself. So if you have this illusion and you want to create an illusion, how does that make you feel when I say that?
Hopeful.
Does it? I love that.
Excited.
And why, Erin? Because I love that.
Well, because it puts us more in control of happening rather than it happening to us, or making it happen versus having it happen to us.
Yeah, it does.
Something like that.
And because
Something profound in there, but I don't
yeah,
know.
no, I get it. No. All right. So if it's an illusion, it gives us room to play. Do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Like that.
I like that. I knew you would. So if it's an illusion, it gives us room to play. It also gives us room so if it doesn't work out, we don't feel like we are so into it that we're gonna, it's not gonna hurt our ego or we're gonna feel like failures or anything because we were creating an illusion. Although that's what everybody's doing out there. I mean, you gotta look at Trump, whatever you believe about him, and I'm not going into political stuff, okay? I'm not. But you gotta look at this man. How in the hell did he get there? I mean, seriously. And how did he do it? He created a freaking illusion. Have you ever listened to his rally? I actually have because I got curious. And he has that, he goes, God bless America, or whatever, that big song, that country western song. I don't listen to country western, so I can't do it. But it's blaring on everything, and everybody's like, by the time they're done, they're emotionally charged into that great America. Everybody there. He never told us what a great America was, ever. But he planted a seed, and every person there had a different idea what a great America was. He was creating an illusion.
Mhm.
And a powerful one. Wagner did, not Wagner, well, no, I'm not going to do that because then I'm putting Trump in with that. No, don't do that. But there are other leaders in the world who also did that. They built an illusion. I don't want to do that because I'm not trying to be political. This is the perfect example for you to look at. Look at how he has created this illusion. And they have tried everything to bust this illusion, but yet he still keeps creating. They have tried the Russia thing. They have tried this thing. I mean, come on, you can name them all, but yet the man is still there. And there are people who believe him. It's an illusion. You can build your own illusion. And
And
I'm
you
not
know,
saying if you're going to you're going to want to go be a surgeon and you're just going to walk into the hospital and stop operating. I am not promoting that. Do not put that back on me. However, I know that there's always somebody who takes it a little too much, but what's wrong with not being afraid to take an online course and start learning about something you want? What's the harm with that?
Does anybody else feel like the word illusion, and I don't care about politics at all, so I don't, but I mean, I do because it affects us, and
Yeah.
the word illusion these days doesn't have to me have a positive connotation.
Mm.
It's like a mirage.
what, hello?
Yes. Hi, Carol.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Hi, sweetheart.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with what Aaron just said. I looked at illusion too as something not so positive.
Right.
Within the last month, I kind of changed my perception of it
Tell me how.
to more of a positive. Like what Elena was saying about Trump, I looked at the same thing. I said, now everything this man is doing, to him, he's still in, like, it looks to us like La La Land.
Right, right.
But really people conform to what he directs, pretty much. Those pretty much around him. So an illusion is not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of like directing a movie. So
Right.
it's
like a script, or it's like a
right.
like a scene play, or like a daydream, or a fantasy land, or a wishful thinking.
Kind of like what the children do.
Right.
And everything kind of, I noticed within the last month when I started doing that, things just started, I just had to flow with it, and things would start going the way I would want it. And then when I got confused as to which direction to take, I would just look at the movie I created and see which direction to play next. Now, granted, I played many characters in my little movie, but it was so easy and smooth, and it was so easy and smooth that I was like, okay, wait a minute, that didn't happen. You know?
Yes.
I like it. I like
that. All right, that's cool.
You see what? Okay, so why can't we, if we are in an illusion, or switch it? If illusion sounds negative to you, think of I'm creating a play. I'm creating.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, then use that. I'm flexible. I don't have a problem with that. So okay, you're creating a play or you're creating an illusion, whatever you prefer. But who do I want to be? And I'm not saying, okay, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, that's okay, good. And that's a good start. But really, who do you want to be? Well, I want to be confident. I want to be able to handle any situation that I go into. I want to be the queen or the CEO or something of my business. I want to be that woman who goes into the room and turns heads, not just men, but as a person with confidence, not just somebody who's just I don't know, picking up guys. But if you want that too, that's okay. But you've got to define what am I? And it pulls from you inside the daydream of, it's the law of gestation. You're speeding up the law of gestation. Because the law of gestation says there's a time for everyone to grow into, or a tree to grow into a big tree, a plant to grow into a plant, a bird to grow into a big bird. Well, it's same with us. We have to have a gestation period to accomplish anything in our life that we want to accomplish, because we have to become it. We have to grow. Well, when you start to already be in yourself in that role of whatever it is that you're trying to create out there, stuff starts to just fall into place because it builds the belief the more you become. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
And really, you're just playing. There's no risk. You want to write a book? Get up and start just writing. Just start writing. You want to, I decided I wanted to sculpt We're still not very good at it. But you know what? I'm having a wicked good time. And I know that if I keep at it, I will be able to sculpt my own stuff. I know it. I just have to practice more. But see, but I'm enjoying it. And I don't feel inhibited in any way because I see it already happening. Do you see? I'm creating it. Ideas, comments.
It's just quite a
I would
different
say,
reality.
yeah,
Whoops. Oh, I love it. I didn't even have to do that. 2 seconds. All right, Carrie, you go first, because and then whoever it was, 'cause it didn't come up on my screen, so I didn't know who it was, but I want you to speak right after. Go ahead, Carrie.
It's just quite a different reality that, well, I got brought up in. You know, we kind of got put in this prison away from the playground of what we can create ourselves. And so
Yep.
this constant instinct to go towards that, creating our own illusions, and then suddenly like, but I can't do that. I can't, you know, so it's yeah, it's very interesting. That's what I have to
So
say.
when you're in that place where you think, I can't do that. Hey, Anvita. These little things that you can't do, just start small. That's where, what about Bob? That movie, I always say, that is a great movie. Baby step, baby step.
What
All
about
right.
Bob?
Yes, huh?
Yeah, I just realized that it's actually possible to do things in steps. Only just recently. I always thought if I couldn't get it in one go, then it was like a flop.
No.
So
And plus, you're creating a play or an illusion. So
very
you didn't
different.
fail. You didn't fail.
And it didn't matter if you failed. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You can try something again. That's why we're here. I keep saying, really, we're here. The more we experiment, do you know something? Every experiment that we do, if you really want to know the truth, we actually learn from that. And that thing that we learned was the thing we needed to learn to evolve our soul.
Mm.
That's why we're here. And we are so scared to fail. So
I know.
we tiptoe through life until death, which is a very famous quote. And our soul hasn't evolved at all because we were too scared to try. Interesting concept, isn't it? So
Well,
if we now go into that world and we start just creating our play, creating the so-called illusion, creating and moving forward in it, becoming it inside, moving forward. I never thought I'd be an author. I was a musician. Never thought I would have a whole business. And I never thought I would open up about my spirituality because it had always been, not very well welcomed in my religion. So, and here I am. And it's happening. You know?
mm.
It's an illusion. It's the play I'm putting forward. Is everybody thinking? It's a big one. It's a big one. This one's one that you can ponder all week and try out. Who has something to say? Because this is too big to just sit there. Got to be something you want to ask.
I was gonna say earlier, I find that if I, if I don't see it, that's when I'm having the blocks and the issues and the frustration and I just can't get things done. If I don't see myself, if I don't have that illusion of having,
Because it's not in you. Yeah.
right, like, then that's where that's how all the doubt comes in, and that's how I talk myself out of it. When I do see it and I'm just being it, it just flows.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
And I don't know how else to explain it.
If you can't see it, have I ever? The only, I do equate to that in some way, because I remember when they, when I was a teacher in music and I was in the university, and that chairman of the department came in and said, "Oh, you are now," and I taught voice, an opera workshop. I didn't teach choirs. And he said, "You now have a full women's choir." And I said, "What?" No, and I had to build that in me, and how I fast. And I remember, Fern, and that might I had to I sat under a tree and I asked myself questions. Why would the girls want to sing? Why, what was I really creating? Why would people come and listen? I asked myself questions to make myself answer them and build who I needed to be to do the job that I was asked to do. It wasn't even mine. I'm glad it was an opportunity. It ended up to be fabulous. I quickly rose to like the third woman conductor in the Northeast state of choirs. And who would have known? Sometimes the universe comes wrapped in such disguise of an opportunity, you never know. But if you step into it, it takes off.
Yeah.
That's happened twice. It also happened with the radio show. I wasn't, 6 months they pestered me on that show. But when I stepped into it, oh my God, it's just soaring. Who would have known? We just don't know. And it is just like this magical illusion. It's a play that's coming on. So we have some new people, Pamela, Missy, Annette, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, does anybody have anything to say?
Sorry, I just joined late. I just saw it at 7:30, so I joined late. So I'm not sure what did you talk about before.
Oh, that's okay. Keep listening. Yeah,
I've been
Carolyn.
the whole time. I've been taking it all in, and it's kind of like when they say, and it can be a spiritual, it can be anything, because we all have to try and believe that there's a higher up, but just wanting the light. And it feels like when things are at its darkest, that's when something's around the corner. When we talk about the illusion, you know what, you, instead of being bummed out, you should be like, wait a second, you know what, something good's going to come in here.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
heard.
You know, that is, Missy, that's a very, my dad used to always say, and he was right. He used to say that, he said, Elena, don't ever worry, because every time there's chaos, there's always opportunity. And that stayed by me for always. And it's true, there is always an opportunity door. There's always windows and doors in that chaos that you can look through. So you're 100% right. And sometimes it takes something like this, or something like a job loss, or something like whatever, could be a calamity in your life, where you finally wake up and say, wait a minute, I have to find a better way. I've got questions now. Where if everything's going hunky-dory and beautiful and falling into place, I was an unconscious competent.
Or when thing happens to you that you get so bummed out about, it might not be 6 months or a year. You eventually look back and go, wow, you know what? Had that not happened, I would have never gotten here.
See?
It's interesting because I hear it, but I actually don't feel it. Like for me personally, right now, I'm dealing with things that are so big, not the coronavirus, other things that I see that happening and terrifies me, and feel for me that I have no control over them. Even though I'm trying to do, but it just seems so bigger. So I can't like, I know that line, but I can't like grab over that.
You know,
it's hard to see the you know, when things happens in the world and it has nothing to do with you, but it's affecting you, it's affecting your health. And I'm not talking about the coronavirus.
Right.
It's hard to see the opportunity there. You feel you have no control.
Yes. There's always.
You don't focus on what you have no control over.
I know, but it's affecting my health, other people's health. So.
Well, I know for me that when this, I'm sorry, I'm a nurse and I'm working in this, you know, in this pandemic right now with the coronavirus. And, you know, I've done a lot of, you know, self-realization and, you know, growth and development over the years. I used to suffer with panic disorder and panic attacks, and I haven't had one in about 12 years. You know, never had to be put on medication. So it was, you know, I was, you know, really happy about that.
Yay.
When this first came out, you know, the whole pandemic and having to work in it, and, you know, all the fear that the media was shoving down our throats, it triggered that panic again. And so the first week I was a mess. I was a complete mess. And why, and, you know, I had to take a step back and I had to figure out, okay, what is it? Why, you know, aside from the obvious that, you know, the sky is falling, but like, why, you know, why am I feeling this way? And so, you know, what can I do? Because I felt the thing that was triggering it was that I felt out of control. I felt like I did not have any control over my environment. I didn't have any control over my health. I didn't have any control over my family's health. There was nowhere to turn. You know, my go-to of like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe, I'm having a panic attack and I need to go to the emergency room. You know, that was like my safety net. Even that's now been pulled out because nobody can go to the hospital right now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It took me a week to regroup, but then I had to regroup and I said, all right, what is it, instead of focusing on what I cannot control, because that's not changing, that's not going anywhere. What is it that I can control? And what I can control is keeping my immune system up. What I can control is, you know, making sure my family's healthy, making sure I'm healthy, doing the proper, you know, taking the proper precautions of, you know, wearing a mask when I need to wear a mask, washing my hands, putting the gloves on. You know, those are all things that I personally have control over. That is the part of my environment that I can control over. When I put my focus and my intentions there, I was able to no longer have the anxiety and the worry and you know, and to move forward.
Fern, that is really, I mean, yeah, that is right. And that's kind of what happened to me too. Someone said, control your own circle. It's too mammoth. Control your own circle. So you write up, what can I do? It doesn't have to be solving the world's problem, but what can I do? And
I also think the illusion is when you take the focus off of what's going on in your environment that you have no control over, that you're saying it doesn't exist. It does exist. It's very much there.
yes.
What you're doing, and for me, gratitude is huge. If I am in a place where I don't feel that I have control over something, or my, you know, things are just going a little haywire for me, I try to focus on what I'm grateful for, because that shifts my energy into another, you know, into another state, into another frequency. So like, I like to say gratitude doesn't mean that your problems aren't there, and it doesn't minimize what you're going through. It just shifts your energy and focus.
I love that.
Energy goes where attention, you know, how is it? Energy flows where attention goes.
Yes,
Energy
exactly.
flows where
So what
attention
you
goes.
focus on is where everything goes. Energy, universe,
Right.
everything. So does
So
anyone?
it's there. No one's saying that it's not there. It's just you're not acknowledge, you know, you're not focused on that.
Exactly. Does anybody have any comments to this?
I kind of wanted to know if that made Anat feel
Me too.
a little better or something.
Honestly, I know those things, and I'm trying and I'm practicing gratitude. But again, and really, I'm dealing with a world problem. It feels like I don't know if I should go to details, but something that, and I believe in taking action, and I'm trying taking action. It's a whole, I don't know if any of you heard about 5G. It's a whole new
Oh yeah.
thing that's gonna come and
yeah.
gonna radiate us, and I'm trying to do actions in my city and my state, and it just feels so hopeless. And that's the first time I really feel anxiety, which I never felt. And I know it's behind my control, and I'm trying to do what I can, but it's just overwhelming me. And I do believe in taking action, but also I can't save the world by myself. So
No. Okay. So have you, I know there's a lot of groups out there. Have you joined any groups?
yeah, I started a group, and it's very difficult because, you know, most people, we don't want to hear about it. We don't want to do it. The politicians feel they can do it because whatever they did, the federal government did laws that makes it really, really difficult. So it just feels so really, really
I
tough
know.
situation. And I never
Sometimes-
dealt with something like that. I mean, I believe in being active and take action. And right action is action is the like the opposite of despair. But in this case,
Right.
the more I do, the more I deal with it, I just get more anxious because I read about it all day and I try to do it.
back away from it a little. 5G, I am concerned about it myself, and so, but back away from it for a minute and shut down everything. And I know I'm not saying you're not going to be active. I'm saying give yourself a break.
I know I'm the only person in this area who's doing it, so I feel like I can't. I really worried about my kids, and that's what I think about. So
Right.
Yeah.
But you worrying is not going to help. You might want to just shut it down for a minute. Give it just like 3 or 4 days. Oh, did I really say that? 3 or 4 days. And then when you get back, look for groups. You know, get online.
I started a group.
I know you did.
Yeah.
And that's good.
And I
However,
joined other groups to see what they're doing.
you need support.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
support.
Mhm.
And
Can
if you feel part of a bigger group, it'll help you. You won't feel like you're going it alone. And you'll find the friends, you'll find out ideas. They'll even, some of them will even make calls in your area for you. You'll find a camaraderie. It's very, and then it won't be so big. You don't have to do it alone. Okay?
Yeah.
And then second of all, you know, practice some quietness and relaxation. You know, if you start to just quiet your mind just a little bit, put on some really great meditation music and quiet your
Yeah,
mind.
I do that.
And find that wonderful space that's everywhere and nowhere. You know, that space inside you. It'll help to center you. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that is a world problem. And a lot of us are
Terrible.
caught up with that. The corona and everything. It's the actions that we can take.
But you know, most people, I guess, we're all different, and most people just able to suppress things and like, oh, I can't do anything about it. I'm not gonna worry.
Well, no,
I
that's
don't have
not
that
it.
personality. I'm
Not
an activist in my nature.
Yeah.
And I'm getting really into things, and the more you read about it, the more you get anxious about it. So
Right. That's why I'm saying turn it off for now. You know everything you need to know. Now just let it lie and then look for groups that can help support you. And then it'll turn into more of a positive action that you're moving forward instead of such an uphill climb. Okay?
Mhm.
A mountain becomes a hill. And this is the kind, when you're in the activist kind of world, that's where the support is key. But it's also looking at yourself and looking at looking at the situation from a different ballpark too. But I'm not even going to go there with you. I think right now this is where you want to be, and that's okay. But look for support, and it'll make it a lot better. And the friends you'll meet are fantastic. That's another plus. They'll be friends for life. You know? There's always something, but trying to go it alone, it's a very hard. The cat went up on the table again, I tell you. It always is this, there's always another way to tackle something that big, okay? And yeah. Every group that I've ever joined, I've always looked for the people within it. People who have been doing it longer, people who know more than I do, people that have a larger group and can help me form mine, okay?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And then you've got to start getting some peace in your life. Meditation, walks. If you can get out into
I do that. Yeah.
feel a tree.
One thing that really helps. Yeah.
Yeah. And don't allow yourself to think of anything 5G, anything. Don't think, okay, they're going to destroy this tree to put up. Don't go there. Just feel the tree.
Well,
Feel
but
the
it's hard
ground.
not to feel it. You go on
Yeah,
this
but
see a new
I know.
antenna. You
Yeah,
can't.
but from peace come worlds of creation. It never comes from the chaos. It comes from the peace you gather in yourself that creates the worlds. Okay?
Mhm.
So you've got to quiet the mind to hear that inner voice. You've got to quiet that mind to hear something bigger than yourself. Okay? It's water versus fire. You know, that passive water, very hard. However, water is just as strong, if not stronger than fire. Water can put out fire. Fire can't put out water.
It's hard. Yeah, you know what? It's hard because it's one time that I just don't see hope for all this situation. Like
I
don't see
know.
hope.
Well, that's the support. You get into that group because there will be hope then. When you start to tackle the problem in the correct way, or in a way that is more productive and not destroying, then all of a sudden something grows from it, and sometimes the result is even bigger than you could ever dream of. But if we stay in this place of doom, we can't create.
Well, I'm saying it because I'm very involved for a
I
while,
know.
and it looks very hopeless. So.
I know it does. Every mountain you start to climb feels that way. Yeah.
That's why we have illusions, isn't it?
That's why we have illusions. It's an illusion.
So we can make up our own reality when there seems to be no other way.
Exactly.
To make yourself believe.
Exactly, Carrie. Woo!
We have to create it out of nothing.
Yes.
There's no way, so we have to do it in our own illusion.
And create our play. All right, anybody else have anything? Did I give you some food to think about this week?
Yes.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you.
Elena.
Thank you.
Next time we'll do more discussion. Missy, I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
So where do you live?
Where do I live?
Where are you based out of?
I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay, good. All right.
Did you think that?
No, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah,
Where
neither would I.
I don't even know what made me ask that question, but I'm like,
That's okay. I grew up in Vermont. I'm still a Northeasterner. You cannot get that Northeasterner out of you. You can't. No way. So yeah, I am definitely, and I've been to New York a lot. I saw your shirt. And Aaron is from New Jersey.
No, that's not a New York shirt.
no, it says, my shirt's make love, not war.
Oh, I like that too.
Yes, Elena, that's what we say in New York.
That's good. That's good. This is funny.
That's our
That's
saying.
funny.
No one outside this tri-state area is allowed to say that.
And look, I almost tried to put a whole illusion there.
Missy, where do you live, Missy?
I'm in Nashville right now. I'm in Nashville.
Oh, you're not that far from me.
But I'm originally 100 years back, Baltimore. So when you said East.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I know, but you're not that far from me now. You know that? We travel through Nashville all the time.
You do?
Yeah, really. Isn't that amazing? You're not that, gosh, well, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours?
Yeah.
Not far. That's a hop, skip, and a jump. All right, Pamela, you've been awfully quiet. Did I give you food for thought?
Yes, you did. I was absorbing it all. But yeah, I definitely illusion, but I do a lot of meditation as well. And like you said, for me to block out everything that's going on around me, I don't watch a lot of news. I get what I need and I move forward. I listen, like I said, I do a lot of meditation. I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks, Wayne Dwyer, and
Yes.
on my personal development for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, so because my husband is the one up front, I'm the shy one, so working on me. That's why I got into personal development. And it's because I'm in stocks and I invest in stocks, and I was supposed to have been on a stock conference call last Thursday and stumbled into this group.
Oh.
There's always a reason, hon. There's always a reason.
So I ended up staying, enjoying it, and here I am again this Thursday. So
I love it. I love it. Make sure you become a part of Soul Manifesto, because there is so much good that's coming, and I think you are going to like it. If you're working on yourself, I studied with Wayne Dyer. I studied all of his stuff since the time I was 18 to the time I was 36.
Oh wow! Yeah, when he passed and died, it just hurt me. It's like I knew him personally and never met him, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, guys, now, so tonight, think about this. What is it you want to create?
Exactly.
Okay? I love you all. Hey, stay connected to that beautiful inner voice of yours, that beautiful divine. Stay connected to everyone around you from a distance, and stay connected to divine. Namaste. Love
See
you.
you next Thursday.
Thank you.
See you next Thursday.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Elena.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Carolyn.
Bye.